everyone, I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars and welcome back to my channel. My parents were from the Depression era, born in 1929 and 1931, and I was raised by them and they taught me about how to live within your means. And so I share a lot of things on this channel that they taught me, and many of you can identify with those, and several of you have found inspiration and encouragement from some of the things that we look at. So I'm so glad that you are here today. One of the things that my dad used to always say to me is, be careful what you wish for, it might come true. I never realized where that saying came from, but it actually comes from Aesops Fables. That's Aesyss Fables, and this is from 260 BC. I always thought about that because I thought, well, it has to be a really old saying for my dad to have always said it. And when I grew up, I never really knew what he meant by that. But then as I lived my life and I thought, man, I would love to have a day off work. And then I got one off, puking in the toilet. Just little things like that. I'm like, I'd hear my dad's voice saying, be careful what you wish for, it might come true. Because what I wished for was a day off of work, and what I got was a day off of work, but I was sick. So those things didn't always equate. And these fables had little things like that in there that were life's lessons, but we didn't realize how much of life's lessons they actually were. So today we're going to take a different turn and talk about how to turn those things into positives, how to turn your relationship with money from a negative to a positive by positive thinking, by being careful what you wish for. We can all have that broke mindset. We can all be like, I don't have enough money, I can't pay my bills, I can't make it, I don't know where next month's rent is going to come from. And for many people, that is a very real, everyday concern. But changing your mindset can help you deal with it so much better. And sometimes those things can even take a change to be more positive when we look at them from a different light. I wanted to tell you about this book, The Secret. Maybe you've heard of it before. And it's about a lady who owed a ton of money and had an absolutely overwhelming amount of debt. But by changing her mindset and by thinking positively, she was able to turn her life around. Now, it talks about manifesting, and manifesting is actually bringing to light a tangible dream or goal. So something that you really would like to have, like I would like to have more money. I would like to have my bills paid. I would like to not worry about always being in debt and it keeping me up at night. Manifesting can make that happen. And before you think that I am over the top, let me give you some actual information on this and some examples of it happening in my life. When you manifest, you intentionally put energy and effort into that goal. Well, isn't that what we do strategically when we plan and we budget and we try to manage our money and we live frugally? We are intentionally putting effort into that goal. Manifesting is the same way. You are intentionally wanting to see some of your goals actually take reality. And by doing that, you focus on those goals and you put more energy and effort towards those goals, which in the end make them happen. Anything that we want to happen doesn't happen unless we actually put forth that effort, that thought, and that energy towards what we're going to do. If we want to change jobs and we hate our job and we sit around and say, gosh, I hate my job, nothing's going to happen, right? But if we start putting out job applications and talking to people and letting people know we're looking for a job, then something will probably come to light. So it's the same thought process on changing your attitude and your relationship with money. Believing that you can have it, making efforts to change what you are unsatisfied with, creates a positive mindset that can make it happen, or it will cause it to happen. So if you can change your thinking from a place of lack, a place of doing without, to a place of it feeling like it's easier and like it's possible and like you have the power to make it happen, it makes your whole life change. My daughter had got me one of these necklaces. It's called a mantra necklace, and it has all of these little beads. And basically what it is you just take each bead and you repeat to yourself the positive affirmations that you want to happen in your life. You can repeat, I don't need to worry about money. I don't need to worry about money. I don't need to worry about money. And if you, by the time you've gone around that entire necklace and said it probably 150 times, when you get worried the next time, the thing that will pop into your head is, I don't need to worry about money, because you've placed that thought in your head. And by placing that thought in your head, it will make you not worry as much about money. So if you're following me this far, let me give you some examples of things that have happened to me personally. I used to worry about money just like anybody else. I used to struggle. I used to have lots of stress over buying enough food, being able to pay my electric bill. But I changed my thought process to, I have enough money and money comes easily to me and I don't have to worry about money. I included that to include God provides, if you believe in God, that everything works out the way it is supposed to. And I just kept reaffirming myself that those things were true, that everything works out the way it's supposed to. We may not always see how it's supposed to work out, but that it always works out the way it's supposed to. Those things brought me comfort, and I was able then to change my worry into those statements. When I would feel that worry coming on, I would reassure myself with those statements. So practice some affirmations that you think would be helpful for you to change some of that money worry into a more positive light. Then work towards whatever goal you would really like to see. Take something negative in your life that you're unhappy with and flip that to, what would make me happy in this situation. We had a business for 7.5 years and we wanted to sell that business. And for about a year, I kept telling my husband, we have to believe it will happen. We have to believe that someone will come forward and someone will want to buy this business. And it felt like it wasn't going to happen at times, but I would just pull myself back to, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Someone is going to want to buy it and it's going to sell. And one evening when I was at work at the business and no one was in the store, I said to myself about 20 times, we're going to get an offer on the business. We're going to get an offer on the business. And I know this sounds crazy, but I said it to myself about 20 times. And when I got done, about 10 minutes later, my phone dinged. And I am telling you the truth. This was after 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night. My realtor texted me after 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night and said, we just got an offer on the business. I was like, oh my gosh, I was just flabbergasted. So whether or not that made it happen, I believed it was going to happen. And by believing that it was going to happen, it helped me get through that year that it was for sale. It helped me not worry. It helped me not stress as much because I believed that it was in my future. And so this is what I'm trying to tell you, is by believing this, by putting that energy and that effort forward to make your life go the direction it wants to go, it makes it better for you internally. And then don't be surprised when it happens. I'm not even surprised anymore when these things happen because I am almost expecting them to happen. I've seen it happen too many times now. The other day I told my husband, you know, people talk about double boilers. I don't have one. I'd kind of like to have one. I heard that you can cook two things at once, that you can use less energy, that it would save us a little bit of money if I had a double boiler. And then I started looking at how much they cost, and I thought, oh, I don't want to spend that much. I don't know that it would save me that much money. And then when I was doing some of my decluttering, look what I found. A double boiler. So I was like, wow, another time that this happened to me. Many times I will just get a random check in the mail that I wasn't expecting, that I didn't know was coming. And it's almost like I expect it now to come in the mail because things like this just keep happening to me once I changed my mindset to not worrying about money so much, knowing that I would be provided for, knowing that things would work out the way they're supposed to. The other day, my nephew got a hold of me. It's probably been 2 or 3 months now, and he said, someone's working up around your farmland. They're putting in some electrical poles, and don't be surprised if they get a hold of you and want to pay you for an easement to put those electrical poles. I was like, wow, they do that? I've never experienced that. I've never dealt with an easement. I'm like, oh, that would be cool if it happened. But I didn't really think about it again. And then they called me and offered me a decent amount of money to put the easement on my property and do the electrical poles. And when they called, I thought, you know, things like this just keep happening to me. And I'm never really surprised anymore because I believe that my life is moving in that direction. I believe that I don't need to worry about money, and I believe that things will work out the way they're supposed to. So look at what is working for you. Be thankful for those things that are working. Believe that more will come to you in a positive way. This decreases that feeling of lack and struggle. You have the ability to change the circumstances in ways that you never have even imagined. Many times we just feel stuck in whatever bad situation is happening to us. But when you think differently, your perspective and your reality changes. And it can change. No one is stuck. We convince ourselves that we're stuck, but we're not stuck. We can change our life at any moment that we decide to. We can move at any moment. We can change a job at any moment. We can change anything we're unhappy with. So now that we're ending this video, I hope that I've convinced you to maybe try some positive affirmations regarding your relationship with money and see if it changes your perspective of how you feel about money, how much you're worrying, and how much lack you have. Maybe you will see that you now have abundance. So I leave you with this. Be careful what you wish for because it might actually come true and be a good thing. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you have, and have a great day.